News Geelong this Friday evening. To commence sport, it's time for some lawn bowls. Talking with Belmont skip Shane Carbines.
On the Margaret Webb Green here at the Belmont Bowls Club, it was the Belmont Blue taking an 18-shot win over Drysdale, and the rink that was outstanding. Shane Carbines, an 18-shot win on your rink. Well bowled.
Thanks very much, Graham. It's great to have a win today. We were 2 games all, 2 losses and 2 wins before this one. So today was good to go 3 and 2, so it's very important for us.
And Shane, you led by example. You played a brilliant game, and many of the spectators said that you were definitely the skipper of the day, and the scoreboard, 34-12 on your rink, showed that you were leading the way.
The other blokes in my side were giving me a bit of stick here, but they played very well. I was well supported today by Mark Peace, Wayne Hovey and Steve Davies, so you can't do it on your own. It's a team game, and they played well. We all played well.
And it was a good battle between Drysdale and yourselves, 2 rings each, and 18 shots up Belmont Blue. So you take that step closer to the top of the ladder.
Do we? Yeah, we're up. We should be in the 4, no problem. We're 2 and 2's okay, so long as no one loses by too much and others can cover it. It's fine. We're happy with this. We're happy with this win.
And the Margaret Webb Green today ran beautifully.
Yeah, it's a good green. They look after it a lot, and it's a sort of a showpiece here with the veranda to overlook it and a few spectators. So it is a very good green. We've got good greens. We had over 60s Australian Championships here last week, and it is a very good green.
Next week you take on Barina at Barina. Another big challenge for you.
It is. It's always we don't have a synthetic green here at Belmont, so it's always a challenge for us. But being a top side, blokes have played on a lot of synthetic greens over the years, so we're okay. But it's always a challenge, and they're a strong club with a lot of young blokes, Barina.
And at the present time, I think in a couple of weeks after that, Lara and Torquay, who seem to be the 2 clubs at the present time that are leading Division 1, are the biggest challenges. Yes,
I would think so. Lara was probably unlucky to be relegated from Premier League last year, so they'll be strong and very hard to beat on their synthetic green. And Torquay are always knocking on the door for Premier promotion. I would imagine they would be the toughest 2, and we haven't played them yet.
And how does it fall out as far as Belmont is concerned with having Belmont Blue and Belmont Gold in Division 1 as far as selection and what players play and what team?
Yeah. Look, we picked the blue side first, and then the gold. I think it's a good thing that we've got 2 sides in Division 1. Certainly we're aiming to get one in Premier Division, but it gives more players an opportunity to play at the highest level in the Geelong Bowls region. So I see it as a positive. We've got 2 sides there, but we picked the blue first and then the gold.
And the competition this year has already started off with some good tight bowls against different clubs that you've been involved with, and but Belmont are certainly standing out there with a big challenge, well, ahead of them with some of the top teams to play yet.
Yeah, well, we did well last year. We only just lost the grand final to Queenscliff, who are a very strong side, and so we had a good year last year, and we just hope to go one better and put ourselves in a position to have a crack at that, yeah.
Shane, thank you very much for your time, and all the very best for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much, Graham. Thank you.
We'll head to the cricket now, catching up with East Belmont coach Peter Quick.
The sun is shining at Winter Reserve, where the number 1 and 2 teams in the GCA Division 1, East Belmont and North Geelong, are doing battle. Joining us, East Belmont's coach Peter Quick, with a little bit of a frown upon his face. Quickie, 236 on the board by North Geelong, and East Belmont off to a stage 2 for 11 after 6.
Yeah, not a brilliant start, and probably got a few more than what I wanted, but we're still in the game. Hopefully we're batting at the end and we'll get the result.
A new deck looks like a road.
Typical Graham Scannell deck, very flat and not offering a lot of assistance.
So the runs are gettable, and certainly it was North Geelong, particularly with Ferguson making 90, that took advantage of those good conditions.
Yeah, look, they batted pretty well. They were a little bit slow at the start. They had a young kid batting who he did his job for them, and they probably got away a little bit at the end. I was probably a little bit critical of our guys, didn't probably bowl the bottom of off stump. I thought probably 220, and that's where it should have finished, but anyway, they've got what they got. Don't really know what par is. That's another wicket by the sound of it. Not out. Well, that's all good. Short boundary, so I'll have to bowl well.
And the shout we hear, of course, North Geelong very, very keen from the first ball, and he opened with Mitchell Troy, who's, as a bowler, is in the side as a batsman.
Yeah, I think they probably just copied off from Joel the week before. Word gets round. It's not a bad tactic. You got to have the guts to do it. They've done it. It's worked so far. So maybe they can do it in 2-day games.
Peter, I looked at the East Belmont lineup, and from memory, I think there's only about 4 of the first 11 players from last year that are still playing here in this particular season, given that there's like Andrew Bars, etc. overseas. So it's really tested your depth, hasn't it?
Yeah, it is. We've been fortunate that we've got a couple back. Sam Scannell was our player for us. He went to Geelong and then moved to Sydney. He's moved back to town. So we're hoping he's sort of a like for like. Hamish McDonald's played first before. He had a season off last year. I played a bit of twos and did his knee. He's come back in. Becca Nguyen was always coming back, but he had a knee reco. And Tommy Henderson's a young kid we got from Torquay, who came across last year, had a shoulder reco. So, yeah, it's changed, but we think, you can't replace Banburys and Hoolies, but we've certainly got players that are good enough. So we're confident that, given our best, we'll be there or thereabouts at the end of the season.
And when you look at the draw, it does look that East Belmont will certainly be a top 4 or 5 team, as will North Geelong. So the old foes could still be doing battle in the final series.
Yeah, look, it's a bit hard to tell with, obviously we didn't get to play Grovedale round 1, and with the 3 one-dayers, and there's 2 after Christmas, it's a bit of a different sort of scenario. You got to have the wins on the board at Christmas. You don't want to be chasing your bum come March.
And some of the newer clubs, Geelong City have picked up some good players, particularly Tommy Elliott back from the Geelong Cricket Club, and of course the Mergerbully Frogs back up into Division 1. They're finding a new surge of life.
Yeah, I don't know many of the Frogs guys. I actually rang Glenn Tallarico during the week to see if he was available for Country Week, and sort of said, I don't know many of you guys, anyone up for Country Week selection. So look, that's good for the comp. They've had a couple of wins. I think it's pretty even. You look at Leopold, made the finals last year and they're bottom, so there's no gimmies. Heighton obviously struggling a little bit, but you only need 1 or 2 guys to start cracking in. I think there's heaps of good sides, and it's not going to sort itself out till Christmas, till we played a couple of 2-day games. Joey's have obviously got good players. Newtown have got good players. City. So it's on. West are struggling at the moment, but we know their quality as well.
And you mentioned quality and Melbourne Country Cricket Week in February of 2014. Already started the campaign, obviously.
Yeah, we've got our first meeting to organise initial squad on Wednesday, and I roughed out some players that we'd like to speak to, and I've spoken to a few guys, just some inquiries to who they think's good enough and who might be available, and I've sort of got about 45 there, and then we'll just see what the interest is from the players. But I spoke to Jake Thorne today. He's keen to certainly play some days. Teller keen to play days. Waller is keen to play days. I think that's a good sign.
A good sign for Geelong Cricket, and East Belmont have got the fight on against North Geelong Magpies here at Winter Reserve this afternoon. Thanks for your time, Peter, and all the best for the rest of the season.
All right, thanks, Rollo.
Thanks for that, Peter. As we go to a break, don't forget you can find out all the latest from News Geelong on our Facebook page, and also remember to follow us on Twitter at NewsGeelong31.